Nightingale, a survival game that launched in February of this year, saw a little bit of a disappointing launch, but since then the team have done some major reworks to make the game much more user-friendly. This update that is coming later on today is the Realms Rebuilt update, which is a complete overhaul of Nightingale, adding tons of new features, improving how the game plays and flows, and changing a lot of the old niggly bits that people weren't really a fan of. Now this update is called Realms Rebuilt and will come out today at around about 4 PM. So by the time this video goes live, the Realms Rebuilt update should already be out. Now I'm very excited for this one. Nightingale launched in February of this year and it was really good. I enjoyed it, but there was a lot of flaws, and unfortunately those flaws did kind of outweigh the benefits. For me, I obviously work a lot, so I didn't have enough time to do everything to get videos out. This game did require a lot, and I mean a lot, of grinding. But over the past few updates, they've slowly nerfed the grinding aspect of the game to make it more of a playable experience, rather than just grinding to get what you needed to then have that little bit of gameplay before you have to grind again to get better stuff. They've introduced so many important features, like being able to craft from storage, which was one of the big problems, and introduced offline mode. Now, the Realms Rebuilt update is the biggest update yet. As you can see here, there are tons of new features in this update, and it's absolutely outstanding what the team have done, and I can't wait to get stuck in and check it out. Now, the trailer that is playing in the background is the Realms Rebuilt trailer. Now, as mentioned earlier on, this will be coming out at 4 PM today, and that is good news. When Nightingale initially launched back in February, it launched to 22,000 players and an all-time peak of 47,481. But as you can see, since then it has been downhill, which is a massive shame because the game is brilliant. I was part of the testing process for the better part of 2 years before the initial launch, and the game did get better and better, and there was a few niggly little bits that were ironed out, and then when the game launched, a lot of those great things were still there, alongside more of a complexity, should we say, and the game is enjoyable if you are into that very complex sort of building and crafting, taking a lot of time, getting this, doing that, and basically it is a grinding game. But a lot of people weren't really feeling that grind and wanted to play, because the play style of this game is absolutely outstanding. The scenery is beautiful, and hopefully with this new update that will change a lot and bring in a lot of those older players. One of the major gripes was obviously being able to craft from storage, because you need a lot of finely tuned items to craft specific things. So you'd be going through tons and tons of storage containers to get the little bits you needed to craft one item, which was a pain in the arse. Another big one was the fact that the game was online only. That has now been changed and you can play the game offline. Currently sitting at 161 average players for the last 30 days. This update, when it drops, is going to boost those numbers massively. I'm hoping the game boosts really well and it gets a whole load of new players and returns old ones. This update is definitely something that's going to bring me back. So let's have a look at what this update has in it. Now for the main part, it is a brand new handcrafted tutorial which is going to get you into the game much more smoothly than the previous one did. It's going to make it a lot easier to get in, learn the ropes and enjoy the game, rather than be confused and stressed out when you can't figure certain things out. Alongside that, there is a brand new storyline. Now, the core storyline of Nightingale has been completely recreated, and that is due to the feedback that they've received from players. Realmwalkers will now embark on a more immersive and substantive quest as Puck guides players across gravity-torn deserts, corrupted forests, and beyond, on a journey to reignite the ancient crossway portals. Each of the new storied realms, now as you can see in the background, there's more like a central hub with various portals around it, and those are going to be your storyline portals. So you'll go through those, continue through the storyline. The overarching storyline is still there. You are a Realmwalker trapped and you're trying to get back to Nightingale. But now you've got these different portals that lead you to different parts of the game that are all handcrafted, and then you still also have the original procedural realms that have been updated. But those procedural realms now will act as mainly a farming area to go test your skills, try out new enemies, and farm for some of those greater resources. Whereas the storyline is going to be based in these handcrafted realms that you'll be able to go through. And as you can see, the big open circular area with the realm doors looks really cool. Rather than having to craft tons and tons of realm portals all the time. It looks like this is going to be a fine-tuned way. Whether we're going to go through this, get a card that unlocks something to go to the next area, not 100% sure. We'll have to wait and see. I will have a video out on a gameplay style playthrough. That'll either be later on tonight or tomorrow. There's also been tons of changes to weaponry. They've got more weapons, adding a short bow and a long bow, which basically the short bow is good for the short close quarters, and then the long bow is good for the sniping and silently taking down enemies. You'll also be able to wield new spells, including Explosive Immolation and Fion's Wrath, which conjures up a giant fish, which, yeah. And if you haven't been on the game in a while, there's a whole tier of new enemies and boss battles. Now there's going to be more boss battles and dungeons coming with this update. There's a variety of new and unique boss fights that you'll encounter throughout the campaign in the Realms Rebuilt update, and you'll find them deep in the revamped sites of power and all new dungeons that offer tougher and more elaborate challenges for the most seasoned Realmwalkers. The deadly adversaries are designed from the ground up with unique abilities which are set within distinctive locations, and want to battle a bear that spews tentacles, well, you can now do that. Now, for those of you that love the building aspect of Nightingale, this update has got you covered too, because as highly requested feature is expanding those build limits to be able to create some really unique and giant structures. So now you'll be able to do that. The Realms Rebuilt update has a whole new elegant tile set as well, so you can create new beautiful structures and also have a much bigger base design than what they had previously, which is great news. And for those that play solo but do want a little something, they've also now got pets. You can have a dachshund in a top hat or a cat in a bonnet, but that is completely up to you. The Realms Rebuilt update will now allow Realmwalkers to shelter up to 20 pets, and several new creatures, including cats and the Eaton sapling, which you can adopt and take home, which quite cool. You know, if you are playing solo and you want to be a crazy cat man or crazy cat lady, crack on, you can now do that. And I might actually become a crazy dachshund man. We'll have to wait and see. As well as that, something that I'm really looking forward to is a new overhauled progression system. Players often found progression in Nightingale confusing, which I completely agree with, either not understanding what they should do next or how to obtain the next tool or gear upgrades. In Realms Rebuilt, the design team has redesigned that progression system to make it more understandable and create a better connection between your character's progression and your journey through the realms. The new progression tab in your guidebook will allow you to unlock new recipes, tools, gear, spells, and tile sets using essence unlocked throughout the game, which is much better than having to go through several traders to try and figure out where you need to go and what you need to get. Now you'll be able to unlock all of these things through basically a skill tree, as you can see here, which looks, and I'm assuming is going to work a lot better than previously that previous system that they had. And for those that also like to tinker with not just bases, but characters, clothing customization is a massive community requested feature because you can really make some beautiful characters in this game. Now, with this, they've improved the character creation system so you can create much better looking characters with all the gear and the clothing that is there. There's a new glamour station, which you'll be able to change the physical shape of items onto another item with the same type that you've unlocked, so you can make your high-end gear look like your Sunday best, and we've got further clothing customization options coming on the horizon. So basically, if you find a really good piece of gear but doesn't match the look that you're going for, you'll be able to trade the stats from that gear with the item that you like and make that be your new piece of kit with those improved stats, which is brilliant. And then with crafting overhauled. That is massively overhauled completely. It was overhauled in an update previously where you'd be able to craft from containers and storage, which makes things a lot better and a lot easier. Now, the crafting was originally very confusing, but they've streamlined that a lot since release, and this update is going to do that even more. The Realms Rebuilt update now means augmentations no longer unlock abilities to craft items. Instead, they offer bonus stats to crafted items and boost refinement times for workbenches. This change, paired with the new progression system, makes crafting much more joyful and straightforward without sacrificing the breadth and depth of the system itself, which is good news. That complexity of the system was really enjoyable to some players, but very confusing to others. I was sort of in the middle. Crafting certain items, I did find it really confusing. Other items, I found it really simplistic and just cracked on. So with this update, I'm excited to see how that works. I'm going to start a fresh game and see how we get on. And then for more home-built customizations, you'll now be able to set your Respite Realm absolutely anywhere you want. The Respite Realm, if you don't know and haven't played the game, is basically your home realm, where if something goes tits up, you will respawn on that realm, or you can choose to respawn there. And it is basically where everything that you have and have gathered is going to stay in that location. This will be your home area, and you'll now be able to place it anywhere at all. And then the team have finished off by saying that there is no part of Nightingale that hasn't been touched by this upgrade. From small balance changes to UI improvements, highlights include 10 new charms, NPC recruits using grenades and throwing knives, the new consumables menu, which has 8 consumable slots in it, and you'll be able to use those straight off the bat. They've also added more hotbar locations, so you can place up to 7 items in your hotbar now, and then 3 in your offhand. So there's 7 items are tools, 3 are offhand, so consumables, things like that, just things that you have there when you need them in a quick pinch, but you don't want to go into your inventory. So pretty good. I like how they've revamped that, and you can have more tools. That way you're not chopping and changing tools depending on what you're doing. You can have your bow, your melee weapon, and your pickaxe and your normal axe in there all at the same time, and do what you want to do without too much of a fuss and going in and out of menus constantly. But this update is a massive one. There's been tons of updates since the release, and I know a lot of people haven't played since sort of February. So they've also added offline mode, new tool abilities, new outfits, being able to craft from storage. They've got a grappling hook now, so you can traverse more quickly across the realms. This update is going to be one of the biggest, well, the biggest update Nightingale has ever released. And I think this will be the best and bring back a lot of those original players. Whether it will bring in any new ones, not 100% sure, but I really do hope so. We will be doing a playthrough of the new storyline. Whether we do it once a week or 2 episodes a week, I'm not 100% sure. Let me know what you fancy in the comments down below. I'll try and get a playthrough episode out either tonight, a little bit after this video, or it will be tomorrow evening. But are you excited about this update? Let me know in the comments down below what you most look forward to about the Nightingale Realms revamped update. Let us know in the comments. For now, though, I've been Wad. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.